Feed most welcome. Today, sorry. Feed most welcome. Today we are going to look at a story of a country where ex-presidents are jailed or they belong to jail. This is Peru. Peru is a country in South America. It is next to Colombia. It is bordering Ecuador. It borders Brazil, Bolivia, and those are the countries it borders. The capital is Lima. And in this country, most of all of their former presidents or ex-presidents from 1985, they are either in jail or they have been in jail before. That is the story from Peru. Peru is in South America or Latin America. That is the story from Peru. So Peru's ex-president has been surrendered for extradition. This Peru's president has been surrendered for extradition to Peru. So what is happening, or what happens normally, is that when you run to another country, for example, you are a Kenyan, if you run away to, let's say, to Tanzania, and you have committed crimes in Kenya, you will be extradited. To extradite is to hand over a person accused of or convicted of a crime to the jurisdiction of foreign state in which the crime was committed. So what happened is that this president, known as Alejandro Toledo, who was in the US, he's very highly educated. This is a man who started his life as a shoeshine boy, a shoeshine boy. Do we call them shoeshine boy? Somebody who started as somebody who shines shoes early in life. Then later on, he became a respected economist. So from a shoeshine boy to a respected economist to a president. He was a professor of economics before he became president. So he was the Peru's first democratically elected president of indigenous ancestry. So he's an indigenous person who was elected as president of Peru. And he served as a president in Peru, I think from 2001 to around 2006. I will confirm. But before then, he earned his Bachelor of Science from the US in 1970. Then he earned 2 master's degrees, one in economics and human resources and another one in economics. That is 1971 and 1972. He worked for various organizations including the World Bank and the United Nations, and returned to Peru in 1981 to work for the government then. He earned his PhD in 1983 from Stanford. And during his term, he said that the economy grew very well. After his presidency, he returned back to the US to work as a professor at Stanford University, where he had earned his degree that's a PhD. So this president, by the name Alejandro Toledo, has now been surrendered by the US. After his presidency, he ran to the US to hide there, probably because he knew what crimes he had committed during his term. So he is now facing extradition to Peru to face corruption charges. It is alleged that he had accepted bribes from a construction company, a Brazilian construction company known as Odebrecht. Odebrecht is a construction conglomerate from Brazil. He had received 20 million US dollars. That's a lot of money. 20 million US dollars. That is what he had received as in bribes, in form of bribes. And he was given the bribes so that the company by the name Odreprechit can win contracts, construction contracts. In 2016, the company admitted of a major corruption scheme in which they paid kickbacks to politicians. The CEO of that company, Macero Odreprechit, was arrested in 2015 and sentenced to 19 years in prison. So the CEO was reading the corruption scandals, was arrested and sentenced in 2015. Toledo served as president of the Peru from 2001 to 2006. That's a confirmation. Another former president is also in jail. The name is Ollanta Humala, who served as president of Peru from 2011 to 2016. He's on trial for charges that he and his wife received over $3 million from the same company for his presidential campaigns. At least hii ni kidogo compared to 20 million ya huyu jamaa huyu. This one. Huyu alichukua 20 million. Lakini huyu mwingine anaitwa Ollanta alichukua over $3 million. Mwingine anaitwa Pedro Pablo is under house arrest for similar charges. Naona mapresident wa huko Peru bana, wakimaliza tu kazi tu hivi ya kuwa president wanaingia prison. Alan Garcia, who served after Toledo, another guy called Alan Garcia aliserve kama president after Toledo. Toledo ndio huyu ndugu yetu ako hapa. Huyo sasa alijipiga risasi kichwani na kujiumiza vibaya sana mwaka wa 2019. He shot himself fatally on the head as police arrived at his house to arrest him for involvement with the same company or the Odreprechit. Hii company ni kama mtu akiingia tu uongozini hivi, wamefika hapo State House. Kama wako na State House, I don't know what they call it in Peru. Wamefika hapo wanataka wapeane ongo ili wape contracts waendelee kujenga inji. So Peru jails more presidents than any other country in the world. Toledo is the third one to be jailed. Toledo is the third one now. He is being extradited. Yo jina bwana. He's facing extradition for mega corruption scandal. Peru has a jail built specifically for former presidents. Now you can understand. Sasa wako na hizo machera, lakini singine nasikia zimejaa, so they build another one just for the former presidents. Every elected Peruvian president since 1985 is either in jail or has been in jail or faced arrest. That is what is happening in Peru. Maybe now we should check out some of the things which are happening in Peru and see for ourselves from news stories. Sawa. Sasa nikikupeleka pale kwa magazeti nikuonyesha mambo vile inaendelea huko. Hivi ndio mambo inaendelea. Sasa huko kwa magazeti ni kwamba mapresident wa huko Peru wao wakimaliza kazi tu ya kwa president mara moja wanaingia kwa jail. So huyu ni mmoja wao anaitwa Fujimori. Fujimori was taken from jail to hospital. Kwa hivyo sasa kazi yao ni kukaa pale kwa hospitali, pale kwa jail, lakini pia wanapelekwa hospitali kama wamekuwa wagonjwa. So if I can read this from BBC. Peru former president Alberto Fujimori has been taken from prison to a hospital because of low blood pressure and abnormal heart rhythm. His doctor has quoted local media saying cardiologists had advised the 79-year-old needed urgent treatment. Fujimori was in power from 1990 to 2000. He's serving a 25-year sentence for human rights abuses. So for Fujimori, Alberto Fujimori yeye ako huko kwa sababu ya human rights violations. Ndio sababu ako pale. Sawa, hiyo ni moja. Ingine ni kwamba Peru should not release jailed ex-president Fujimori, says Inter-American Court. So mzee amekaa kwa chera mpaka amezeeka huko, na court inasema kwamba asiachiliwe, akae pale tu aendelee kukaa. So they want him to continue. So Inter-American Court of Human Rights on Wednesday ruled that Peru should not release the jailed former president Alberto Fujimori until further notice. So you see, huyu jamaa alikuwa amepiga watu vibaya sana. I think alikuwa ameua watu. Kwa hivyo sasa yeye ako pale gerezani. So there is nobody who is above the law. If today you are in power, tomorrow when you step down as a president or in whatever position, if you have immunity, you will face the music. You will go to jail. You see, there are already examples of people who are in jail because of the crimes which they committed. So Peru is running out of space to keep its jailed ex-presidents. So jail has a space for 2 ex-leaders, but could not have 3. Former President Toledo is expected to be extradited. So this was written before this guy was extradited to Peru. Kwa hivyo sasa hawawezi weka mapresidenti watatu kwa chera moja. Lazima wangetafuta mahali pa kuweka hao wengine. Prison is the future of presidents of Peru. That is the headline on Latin American Post. Prison is the future of, is a question actually. Prison, the future of the presidents of Peru. Haya, hawa watatu ni wakina nani? Ni former presidents hawa. Haya, last week haya, hao wote wako kwa chera. Ndio hao hata wamelistiwa hapa kwamba Alejandro Toledo akona kesi ya kujibu, pesa alipewa kama bribe. Arani Garcia alichukua uongozi baada ya huyo jamaa anaitwa Alejandro Toledo. Yeye pia akona kesi ya kujibu kwa sababu he was sentenced to preventive detention in state custody. He committed suicide. Huyu jamaa alichunyonga tu, huyu ni former president. Haya, mwingine ni Ollanta Humala. He was elected in 2011 by the Ghana Peru movement. Haya, alipewa over $3 million, hiyo tumesema. Pedro Pablo Watt, the leader of Peru's party, elected in 2016 by slim majority. Huyo pia hakuna kesi ya kujibu, alichukua ongo. Martina Vizcarra, huyu alikuwa president huko. Ilibidi akimbie bwana. After kujulikana kwamba mambo yake si mzuri, alitoroka nchini Peru, akaelekea kwingine. So yeye pia ako gerezani nafikiria, ama ako na kesi ya kujibu. Pedro Castillo, huyu ndi current president, pia ako na mambo yake inamfuata. He was elected president by Peru Libre Party. He came to power with just 18.92% of the first round, 50% in the second. Okay. Huyu sasa ni current president. Naye pia is being accused of being the head of a criminal network of influence, peddling and collusion. Unasikia, sio kuiba peke yake, pia kuna mambo inaitwa criminal network of influence, peddling and collusion, whatever that means. Kwa hivyo huko Peru hakuna mchezo. Ukitoka tu kama wewe ni kiongozi, wewe ni rais, ukitoka tu hivi kwako ni gerezani, hakuna mahali pengine. So this is a warning to elected leaders. Serve people diligently and do not engage in criminal activities, because when your time comes, you will face the consequences. Otherwise, thank you very much for tuning in to Kerosi TV. If you are new here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kerosi TV, and also share and comment. Thank you. See you in the next episode.